your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television.
Hello and thanks for staying with us. This is Asset Television. You are welcome. Nigeria is currently heading towards the direction no citizen of the country ever believed it would go to. Over 1 month ago, Nigerian youth circulated notice of protest outlining areas of concern, but the authorities never took it the way it ought to have been done. However, we are going to discuss these issues of the ongoing protest and others as we progress. I am Sunday Ayami, and with me is
Emmanuel Ejike Emmanuel, and I'm pleased to be on issues of the moment.
Nigeria is bleeding now. The streets are bleeding. Nigerians have taken up to the streets for over close to 1 week now, protesting the hardship and what has been happening or bedeviling them in the country. So what is your own opinion about this?
Yes, I want to take it from two angles. First, on the side of the federal government. The federal government was giving notice. The protesters gave notice of
ample notice.
At least 1 month notice that this is our pains, this is our cries, this is what we are passing through. We expect you to listen as the federal government. We expect the federal government to listen to the masses, to listen to their cry. If we don't meet up with this, we will go to the street and protest. For a whole month, the federal government sat on it. They never did anything, only for them to begin to arrange nine-minute factions, approaches by bringing insecurities to bring threats and blockages towards the protest is wrong. Then, on the side of the protesters too, to a large extent, some of them were very peaceful. Of course, the very beginning of the protest, it was peaceful all through.
Day one
was peaceful. But day two, I don't know, I cannot jump into conclusions, but I want to view it with my own mindset that maybe is the approaches from the security operatives that turned their minds to begin to do the other things, because day two, it started going bloody.
No, not even the security operatives. Now, what really happened, especially at the MKO Abiola Stadium,
yes,
when the genuine protesters had gathered, and because they had a court order restraining them to the stadium.
From using the stadium?
Restraining them to the stadium.
Okay.
Rather, from using Eagle Square.
Eagle Square instead
of...
Yeah.
So now they were all gathered there peacefully, but unfortunately, about 5 coastal buses came in there, fully air-conditioned, with government-trained and...
government-arranged protesters.
Okay, they also trained them too. Yeah. They also trained them because they will tell them exactly what to do.
What to do.
You understand?
Yeah.
That is training. So with government protesters, and when they came, the situation now changed. That was when these other people were saying, who are these ones? They are not our members. They said no. So they were down carrying their own set of placards, and that was when things started changing, because there was supposed to be a fracas between the two groups. Then police now started using tear gas, which angered, because tear gas doesn't know whether you are pro or against.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So some people now went, like, for instance, yesterday, I saw a journalist shot at his legs, and that was in Jos. So it is these anti-protesters that caused...
I was present at that place, and the Nigerian police were
told that in that process, federal government released 570 billion naira, over 750 billion naira, to governors to be able to quell the protest, which they never did. So where do you think this money would have gone to now?
Now, let's take it one after the other. I want to talk about, before I come to the 500 billion naira, let me start from the other side of the protest against protesters.
Yes.
The government protesters against the original protesters.
Protesters.
Let me start from there. In the first place, that is a wrong move by the government. It's a very wrong move by the government. If the protesters never gave warning or date or time or information to the government, is a different thing. They did not just wake up one morning and begin to protest. They gave the information to the government over a month. And then if you don't meet up with this is our pains, this is what we are passing through, please do something. But if the government stands up to that, put its feet down and do something, the masses would have calmed down. The government never did anything. And on the day of the protest, only for government, instead of the government to either invite the leaders and talk to them,
Yes.
the leaders, of course, every protest has leaders because we have groups. They have leaders. Even if you cannot come out on the street to meet with them, before they come to the street, approach them. There are so many ways the government can talk to them. Quench them. We will do this. Even if if you're telling us sweet
It's a
lies,
promise.
tell us sweet lies. Tell them sweet lies at least to calm them for the moment. And then you can now go and begin to dialogue. Government did not do anything, only to hire thugs, other people, to fuel them to come and protest against their protests, against the
yesterday
genuine protesters.
there was a broadcast by the president,
Yes.
and unfortunately, Nigerians have condemned that protest.
Yes.
That
That
broadcast,
broadcast, yes.
because it never addressed the issues in question.
Okay.
So now, what is your own opinion on that broadcast?
That broadcast, I listened to it. I don't want to use the word disappoint, but I was not comfortable with that. Left for me, he wouldn't have addressed the nation
Sure,
at all.
sure.
Because one,
I
our
thought that
expectations,
same way
we
too.
were full of expectations. Our expectations were high, but what we made, what we heard from what we saw from the president was totally the opposite of what we were expecting. So I think he has more illegal advisors, or he worked more with the illegal advice than the legal advice on that yesterday's broadcast. Because I expect any speech that president is to address the nation, some 1, 2, 3 of the legal advisors should vet it. He has speech writers, he has people that should vet the speech. Even him as a person, as a father, if he sees this thing, weighing the situation and the tension on ground, I expect him to say no.
You know, one thing with the speech writers too that I condemn, if I were to be the man's speech writer, I will not churn out that sort of speech. I have been a speech writer before, but your boss must give a commitment. When you say, can I add so thing? And can I express that you have given commitment to it? And he says, go ahead. Then you now add it. But in this case, there was nothing. In fact, the main issues were just being...
He was just rigmaroling.
Yes.
He never said anything.
He never said anything. So which means that speech was no speech at all.
No.
You understand? Now, prominent Nigerians have come out to condemn that speech.
Prominent Nigerians, not one, not two, not three. You
so
know,
everybody. The youths are disappointed, and that's what they said. In fact, like this morning, I was listening to one of them who said, well, they initially wanted to end this protest on the 10th of this month, August.
Yes.
But it looks as if they will review and extend. If it means all of them sleeping on the street, they will do that.
Okay. Now, from what I even heard, the one that is most disappointing is that the president even said over 500 billion naira given to the state governors to quench the protests. Now, this 5 billion naira, is it going to be evenly distributed? If it's going to be distributed, who are qualified to benefit from this 500 billion?
And what is supposed to be used for?
And what is the criteria? And what is it going to be used for? Is it a project? Or are you going to the street to begin to share to individuals on the street?
Already before that, we lent, they spent 9 billion naira to hire thugs.
Okay.
Anti-protesters.
Anti-protesters.
Yes. 9 billion naira. So where are we headed?
Nigeria is in trouble. Now, okay, last week we heard that trailer loads of rice will be sent to the various states for distribution.
Yes, and it will cost 40,000 naira per bag, 50 kg bag.
Yes,
I went round this town. I have been asking people if they even saw any.
That is, I called my state.
Good.
At least I called about 4 local governments, stakeholders in 4 different local governments in my state. They are not even aware of it. There is nothing to show that they brought rice and they are waiting for distribution. No. So now, where is the location for the rice? Who are the people to distribute this rice? Who are the beneficiaries that we collect, that will get this rice at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You see, so many things we put into consideration. Now, the approach the federal government brought into this protest.
I was present at that place, and the Nigerian police were...
Now, let me start with the police. The way they use the police to frustrate the efforts of the protesters in the first place is wrong. By using live bullets when the protesters are not armed, it's wrong. The protesters carried placards
Of different
inscriptions, trying to show you their pains, their cry, what they are passing through placards, not guns, not knives, not. I mean, they are just protesting peacefully, and then you begin to disperse them with tear gas, even when they are peaceful, and then shooting live ammunition.
Do you know that these same security men, they have families who go to the same market every other Nigerian go to? They don't have a special market for security officers.
No.
It's that same market we all go to. So now, do you think they are not feeling the pain too? Or do they have a special arrangement in Nigeria?
In some states that I will not mention, we saw videos where some security operatives were dancing and jubilating with the protesters and guiding them. Please, no looting. Don't break any shop. The securities were advising,
yes.
And they were happy.
That was a good one.
Because it was
same thing with
because they were peaceful.
Ojota
Yes.
in Lagos, until at a point the commissioner was even giving them pure water and other like gala and the rest.
Because they were peaceful.
They were peaceful.
Now,
Until talks invaded that place on Saturday and sent everybody away.
and just before this protest, remember we did a program here and on issues of the moment, and I said, for these protests, it's not the protest that is the matter, it's the aftermath of the protest. When the protest is coming like this, we have known groups that are organized.
Yes.
We have
Unknown
groups that are also organized,
like what they
and
would
then
say,
we have
unknown
unknown groups that are not.
gunmen.
We have unknown groups that are organized. We have unknown group that are not organized, and that is where I say the Let's Go group. When I say the Let's Go group, these boys are on the street.
These are loose cannons.
Yes, they are on the street. They have nothing to do. Some of them don't even know why they are protesting. Some of them don't even know if they have any reason to join the protest. But once they see the crowd, hey, let's go, and then they join. These are the ones to burn tires on the street. These are the ones that will begin to break into shops and begin to loot. I remember I watched on video too that at Nyanya checking point.
Yes.
There is a police post out there that they use a caravan as their office. They had crisis there, and the thugs had to burn the caravan. They burnt down the police post.
And in fact, at a point, we were told that same area,
Yes.
that Nyanya area, they were also touching people's cars,
Yes.
breaking into cars, stealing, and some people have to run away and leave their cars on the
Was
on the
that
road.
still part of the protest?
That was not the protest.
That was not part of the protest.
That wasn't the protest. That
Looting
was not
in New Nyanya, from Dollar Pharmacy
Okay.
down to Gwandara Massacre. The keke riders became robbers. Most of them. On that day 1, day 2, in fact day 1, keke riders, people who were afraid that they are protesting that let's go home. As they bought keke, inside the keke they will just go from here to here and they rob you.
Okay,
Bring your handset,
just like
bring
one
this
of our
one.
colleagues
Keke
who said here
riders.
this morning that her phone was even snatched from her, and she had to bail that phone with 5,000 naira.
5,000 naira. Can you imagine?
So that
Is
was,
that still part of the protest?
That was not the part of the protest.
So when you look at the odds in this protest, you see the side of the government. You also see the side of the protesters. It was, even though the protest was genuine and right, and in the right direction too, hoodlums took over the protest. And in fact, a lot of them keyed into it and then overturned the table of the protest.
No, let me draw your attention to something. When Tinubu was campaigning, he said he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped. So is that what we're saying? Now, if you say you are going to continue from where Buhari stopped, and now they are counting 1 year for you or thereabout, because we had believed that from where he stopped, so which means it's 9 years now. Buhari had done, yes,
8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
And so this is 9 years now. Let us not say, well, give him more time, just 1 year that he came in there. It's continuation of
it's continuation.
Government.
It's not 1 year. It's continuation.
It's 9 years.
Yes. Because,
and Nigerians are suffering even more.
Well, okay, even at the tail end of the conclusive part of Buhari's government, was Nigeria very rosy? Was it rosy with everybody?
It wasn't.
Everybody, at every chapter, every quarter, there was complaint.
But at least,
then,
when before he left,
yes,
we still had to buy fuel for 197.
Yes, and rice.
Yeah, rice.
And rice was a little down.
A little down.
Beans was a little down.
Yes.
You know.
Do you know that?
NEPA bill was a little down, but now that he said he's taking over, he's continuing from where he stopped. He has continued, and everything is hiked. So, where are we?
Let me tell you, yesterday in the morning, when one of my neighbors was preparing to go to church, and he now asked his son to go to a neighborhood market very close to where we are. The geisha, the last time he bought geisha was 250 naira.
That was a long time ago.
That was the last time he bought geisha. But yesterday, that same geisha is 1,100 naira.
Yes.
That same geisha, which in those days in secondary school, that was what we used to play with.
Geisha sardine.
When we were talking about kuleba in our days in the dormitory, you just use it. I think was it 50 kobo that time
35 kobo one time. Then increased to 50.
Yeah, there were two types: the yellow, the red, and the green. Aside from the sardine that is maintaining.
Yes.
So all those things were there, and life was on. But look at today now. That same thing that cost about 30 kobo is now 1,000 naira.
I remember when I finished primary school and I wanted to go to secondary school. Then my parents buy clothes for me. I don't buy myself. So my mother went and bought a jeans with blue jeans with white line like this. They call it that time stretch jeans.
Stretch.
They bought that jeans, I think about 350 naira. And I was very angry. I said, how can my mother spend 350 naira on one trouser? If it's me, why didn't you give me that money? I can buy like 5 trousers. I didn't know that today I'm going to buy one trouser for 15, 16, 20,000 for one trouser.
That is cheap. That is cheap. Yes. That is cheap because I have bought the trouser in one of the boutiques for 65,000 naira.
Look at that.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to compare it
not to even
with
talk
what
about
that time.
Not to even talk about shoes now. You
No
can't
go
even
area.
no go area.
No go
so
area.
now, just try and be patching your shoes.
I saw a shoe on Jumia and I liked the shoe.
Yeah, yes.
I saw it. I say, when I saw the price, 45,000. They say that's the discount price, 45,000. I say, well, it's high. I like the shoe, but it's actually too high. Now that I'm beginning to raise family, some of these things I no longer do fashion.
No.
But I can't be naked.
It's true.
Some of the things you want to buy, you consider school fees, you consider food, you service the immediate family, some of these things. So Nigeria is actually too tough for us now. Let the federal government do something. Federal government, please do something.
So before we go, let us discuss one or two things. We just got information that Bobrisky has
Yes.
been released from prison.
Yes.
This is a man who turned himself to a woman.
Yes.
So, and I don't even understand, because the first day he went there, I learned when he was pressed, the prison officers asked him to go to the ladies.
Yes.
And he said
For
no.
convenience.
For convenience. He said no, that he wants to go to the male. They said no, but you are
female.
You are female now. So now he has been released. I want to believe he has taken a lesson from there.
Yeah, he must have learned a great lesson from there. So, Bobrisky, well, I used to address him as a he, she. But now that he has shown us from the prison, from his arrest, he has shown that he's now a he, not a he, she.
It's a he, not a he, she. Or not even a she.
Okay.
So it's completely, okay, look at him, we see on the monitor there.
Yes.
Uh,
But he looks like a she here.
That was what he designed himself to be.
Okay.
Yeah? So, but it's a he.
Okay.
And 2 days when they took him to prison, he started growing beard.
Yes. The
So-
she started growing
The she was coming out, the he was coming out very well in him.
out of her.
So I am told we have to go now. We come back same time tomorrow for another edition of Issues in the Moment.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. I am Sunday Ayami.
And I remain Emmanuel, Ejike Emmanuel.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business.